In this work that I do, I hear the questions a lot around how does somebody else feel about me? When am I going to meet a soulmate or a true love, or those kind of questions? Now, you are never ever going to know how somebody else truly feels. You are only ever going to know you. You can only know yourself, your own thoughts, your own feelings, because somebody else can tell you words and they may be disconnected inside. Somebody who's disconnected, so the part of their brain, the front part of their brain thinks, like can think and it knows what it's meant to say, but it doesn't have a physical connection to the emotion. So somebody can say, I love you, but not feel it, but they think they're meant to say that. So you're not going to know that. You're not going to know how another person is feeling behind those words. And try to interpret love. If I tell you to explain to me what love is, people have different concepts of what love is. Like some people believe that giving everything that they're all their heart and soul to somebody else is love. But then somebody else has a perception that love means letting them be free to be as they want without expecting anything in return. And that's a sense of love. Sometimes love can be control. Sometimes love can be just this letting go. It's just we don't all see or feel love the same because we grew up differently. We grew up in different atmospheres, trying to get love from a parent, and then figuring out, well, we couldn't get it the way we wanted to, so we created a form of what we think love is. So when you say, do they feel the same way about me as I do about them? It's usually no, because people don't feel things the same way. Also, that question of a soulmate, how, if we are all one, when we die, we are all one. I remember when I said my near-death experience, I was standing next to the doctor and standing next to the nurse, and I knew them. My soul knew them. My soul was part of their soul. So in the physical world, we are strangers, but in the afterlife, we are all one. So why would there be a soul mate if we are all one? That means my soul is actually connected to every soul on this planet that is alive. There's not one particular mate. That's just the ego. And we get programmed through the ego to watch, like growing up, you watched cartoons or, like movies with Cinderella and Snow White, where there was a prince and a princess, and it's all fantasy and it's all nice, and it feeds the ego to think, I want that. Or you saw, maybe you had grandparents that stayed together for 70 years. They met when they were young and then they stayed right through to the end of their life. And so you've seen something like that. So that is a perception then that I have to have the same. But we do not all have to have the same experiences. Our souls are here for many, many different experiences. What if you had a life? What if you've had a life where you were with a partner for the whole entire life, and then in another incarnation you married 5 different people, and then in another incarnation you didn't marry anybody at all and you just were content on your own? Each incarnation has its own unique experience. So why are you now deciding that I have to have this particular kind of love, or this, what are you basing that on? So when you say to yourself, I want somebody to love me, why do you need somebody to love you? Can you not love yourself? Is that an issue there? Do you not like your own company? Is that the issue there? Have you found love and then they have gone on a different path? If you have that really, really strong drawing magnetic type attraction to somebody, that's usually going to be one of the biggest lessons you've ever had, because it's drawing you in, like there is something here that you're going to learn about yourself. And because it's so magnetic, you're going to fall very, very emotionally attached to them, because you can't get a lesson from somebody you're not emotionally attached to. So if if someone came along into your life and they were going to teach you about boundaries or self-worth or self-respect or attachment styles or something that you've got going on, if they came to you and you had no emotional attachment to them, the lesson would not impact you. You wouldn't get it. So the person that comes along that gives you the greatest lesson, you will be very, very emotionally attached to them. That's where you feel like, oh, my soul is drawn into their soul. It's a soul connection. That's when you feel that. It's actually an energetic connection to them, that they are going to show you parts of yourself that you can't see yet. That's why it feels so strong. You have to be emotionally connected to get the lesson. Otherwise it won't hurt. It won't teach you. If you don't feel the hurt, you can't get taught. So it's not a soulmate. It's another soul in a human body that comes into your life that has the greatest of lessons to teach you. Yeah, but I get that most people, they don't really like who they are, or they'll leave one relationship and go straight into another one and then have exactly the same problems. They didn't give themselves enough time to find out who they are. Because we do get lost in other people. We lose ourselves in others, and we need to take that time to find who we are. And by then understanding who we are ourselves, we attract a different kind of person. And I know I've been through this myself. As a needy people pleaser, I attracted the most narcissistic people in the world because I just wanted to please everybody. I had to actually be blown apart, basically emotionally, to see it, and then know. I was just craving. I couldn't find it in myself. When I found it in myself, there is no more need to find it outside of myself. So, they say do the inner work. It really, really is beneficial to do the inner work. But that's, people just don't see love the same way. You can't know what somebody else is feeling and what they're thinking. They can tell you, but that's still, you're only ever going to know yourself. And what you do is you work on yourself. You become strong in who you are. You believe in who you are. So then if you come into a relationship and it works, that's fantastic. If it doesn't work, you know that you are strong enough to survive on your own.